Well, hello there, Zaidi boy, coming to you from Milliken Park. There's a reason, yo, Zaidi boy, aka a rational Muslim. There's a reason this is the best park in the world. Several. One of them I'm showing you, which is like it's wide open space, right? They play cricket over there. They got the Falun guy. Oh wait, cricket's over here behind this tree. Yo, so Falun Gong is over there. Right, or somewhere over here. Like they got Chinese band practice. Look, like this is the weekend, and you're gonna have tents. Like sometimes you'll literally have tents on this hill. So they got a hill, they got wide open spaces, they got wooded areas if you want to go for a run. They got a goddamn lake with geese and all kinds of flora and fauna in it. It's literally a wildlife preserve, like with ferns and yo, you need one of these gator swamp boats from Florida. So I thought I'd show you guys something interesting. I was just walking along picking up the garbage as usual. That kind of guy, right? So now I see this thing. Guys, Tai Lopez, one of my mentors, like he doesn't know me from Jack, frankly, unless he reads the stuff where I'm tagging him and commenting and acting like an asshole on his like fucking social, right? Anyway, so this fucking thing, I'm going to do a couple of kicks to show you that I really am in shape and I really will dismantle any fucking person that's going to fuck around. Besides which, I said this to my wife recently, right? It's like, so I was walking along and there's a little balloon here. So now I was saying to my wife recently that basically you got to exercise your fucking face off. And I got this from Alex Becker and Tai Lopez. And these guys may or may not like each other, and both of them may or may not like Gary Vee. Yo, everybody respects Gary Vee. Okay, that's what that is. Now, Tai Lopez, okay, just so you know who this fucking guy is. Like the last video I watched of his is called Doing 100 Million a Year in E-commerce. And he does more than this. He's probably doing 250. He bought Pier 1. He bought Bulk Barn. He bought like a bunch of... This guy, like who started in... This is internet marketing speak or whatever. Like this is the world of internet marketing. Like the latest and greatest or some shit. I wouldn't even know what the fuck that is or who to talk to. Are you talking about affiliate marketing? Or are you talking about drop shipping or Shopify or Amazon? Each of these areas has like people like Tai Lopez in it. E-commerce is Tai Lopez. Gary Vee is like Metallica. He's like this breakout phenomena that nobody can understand. He owns like an empire approaching like $1 billion in market cap. Okay, Alex Becker, that's Gary Vee. Alex Becker is Cybermonk. He's the guy who made internet marketers, like it's mandatory to get a Lambo if you're an internet marketer, or a Bugatti or something like that. Lambo is the standard. That would be Alex Becker. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm a marketer. As far as I can tell, this is what happened. Alex Becker is the guy in his he's shooting these goddamn videos. Like you'll see him. I mean, if you're into this stuff, you will have seen this guy. He's like this skinny Texan or some fucking thing. I don't know where he's from. Like we chat on WhatsApp. That's about it. And I'm like, yo, do your thing. I don't want to waste your fucking time. He's like, yo, you want some courses? I'm like, yo, just forget about this thing. All right. I'm not here. I'm here to take notes. Okay. I've taken your course or one of your courses. I just watch your videos. I don't know shit about crypto. Yo, Alex Becker does 2 million fucking month, like at last count, which was months and fucking months ago. He's a mad fucking dog. Yo, he's a data scientist. I know a data scientist called Brian Christopher in Orange County, who was one of the guys who was doing my Google/Facebook ads when I was doing this shit with realtors a couple of years ago. Now, by knowing Brian, I realized that Alex Becker is a fucking data scientist. Data. And like, there's a guy called okay, so if you're into affiliate marketing, I wasn't going to talk about internet marketing at all. Like, I want to do some fucking kicks, right? This thing is here. I wanted to show you guys that I'm actually in shape, right? So that's left foot, right foot. Like when you exercise, right? Make sure it's symmetrical, like this kind of thing. Unless, for example, I'm left-handed, so my left bicep is bigger and shoulder and all this stuff. Like it starts with your shoulder. Understand this. If you want to put on weight or rather muscle, like if you want muscle, there's 2 things that you may want in terms of getting in shape. One thing is to build muscles. The second thing is to tone down. I'm into toning down. I'm not into building muscles. Like muscles are there for a reason. Like I'll do yoga and this and that in between my kicks. I'm more into cardio. There's always 2. It's like snowboarder versus skateboarder. Rather, actually, snowboarder versus skier. And then street skater versus ramp skater. Okay, I bike, and I don't have my bike with me today or one of my bikes. I'm an off-roader. Okay, then you have racers. Racer is my wife. Like, she has $1,000 helmet, like $5,000 giant bike, this kind of bullshit. And I'm like, are you joking? Like $100 maximum for a fucking bike, new at Walmart, this kind of thing, like 150 with all the taxes or whatever. Or you just find some guy in the street and you find a bike, or buy a bike of him like for about 40 bucks. I bought a bike for like 200 bucks off a guy off the street, right? 220, like St. Jamestown, near where my wife lives, or rather where she lives. Sweetie, I hope you don't mind. So now 20 bucks for the middleman, $200 bike, $200, and then it's like $1,000 bike at least, right? So generally, I advise people in the following way: like, online, you should get stuff for half price at least, and there's more of a margin. And so, to be an internet marketer or to be an entrepreneur, the first and foremost thing you got to understand is there's two fucking things: personal savings and then business expenditure. Personal savings is the following: spend less than you earn. It sounds very easy. It's not easy at all. As a country, the States, their GDP or whatever per capita, or like whatever the fuck that is, I'm not an economist, right? Like our ex-prime minister, Stephen Harper, was, and I don't know if he's got people who might be able to answer any questions you have about that. So don't ask me about economic theory or finance or some bullshit like this, because I'm not into that. Don't ask me about crypto. I don't know shit about crypto. I don't know shit about finance. My not my mom, but my wife takes care of all that, believe it or not. Like, Japanese people and my Indian friend, when I was getting married, advised the following: let your wife handle the finances of the house. So I'm like, yo, sweetie, after all of her expenses, whatever's left, I'm going to give to you. Rather, she takes care of all the expenses anyway. I just send her everything. Like, that's an ideal world. We're getting there, like, hopefully. Right? So now I want 20 bucks a day. That's it. Like, as a consultant, I just need 20 bucks. I can get some weed if I need to. I can get coffee. I can get like a meal. And like, basically, my whole thing is the Amway dictum of SOOYH: stay out of your house. I've just found that I'm productive outside of my house or in the middle of the night or things like this. Now, back to this thing over here. So, internet marketing. So, Tai Lopez works out for 3 hours a day at least. He had this fucking video. You can look it up. It's 2 hours long. He's just chilling. He's got phones and computers all around him. He's got Snapchat and Tumblr and IG and Twitter, and he's talking to people. This is what I like about this guy, among many other things that makes him unique. He basically literally has perfected the art of the online hangout, like hanging out with your people. Like most guys, like I was going to mention this guy, Robbie Blanchard, okay, commission hero, the course. If you're into affiliate marketing, I know this guy. He's hung with me on his thread, and he's a very good guy. It's a great course. It's $1,000 course US. I got it for like half price as usual. I just called them. Like, my whole thing is like half price. I want it for half price, right? I want it for half price, online or offline. Like, that's the starting point. Like, so offline, it's like you ask for half price. My wife is the master at these things, of course. She does the insurance and the, like, everything, fucking property tax, and fucking make sure the numbers. Like, I don't even know what she does, and I've never asked her, and she's been doing it for 15 years. So this thing over here, so working out. And the thing I want to say is, I get up every day. I just told this to my roommate or some other fucking guy I met or something like this. Like, most people get up and they bumble into. Most people get up. Most people get up and they bumble into their day. Okay, they bumble into their day, and then they bumble through their day. They bumble into their day and through their day, and this motherfucking thing called the day is gonna eat you alive. It's gonna eat your fucking face off and spit it out by 3, and by 5, you're gonna come home smashed and demoralized and fucked in the head, and you think life is shit. And by the way, you get out of bed thinking this, so it doesn't get much better, right? So now, Melissa Meyer, ex-CEO of Yahoo, she says this thing, everybody knows it. And she kind of said a nice line about it. She said that you guys, she's speaking to some audience or another, some Inc. 500, Fortune 500, the usual bullshit TED Talk. Melissa Meyer, ex-CEO of Yahoo, right? So now, she's famous in tech, right? So now, she says, you people are tired. It's not the fact that the work is tiring you out, because work actually energizes you. like guys like Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and fucking Gary Vaynerchuk, people ask them, and he says this in a recent video, Gary V. He's like, yo, people ask me, why do you keep going like a mad dog? And my answer to this, he had his answer. Go look him up and watch his videos. I encourage you to do this. This guy is like, he's gonna own a $1 billion empire. He's gonna own the New York Jets. He's gonna be fucking famous, mainstream. He's like Metallica, which is a breakout group, right? They're no longer a thrash band, so they sold out. Like Metallica and Megadeth are like sister bands. So Megadeth still puts, Dave Mustaine of Megadeth is putting out albums, and they're thrash albums, and he's playing as good as ever and souling as much as ever. Metallica didn't do any of that stuff. Like they took out Kirk Hammett, the lead guitarist, solos from one of the albums, Saint Anger, so this is a sellout. Many people say the Black Album's a sellout. My take on it is they're no longer a thrash band, and therefore they're a sellout. But in the world of music, everyone hero worships them nonetheless. It's like Bill Gates. Okay, because they're a business. Metallica is a fucking brand. It's no longer, it's transcended music, right? So it's like to pick nits over like the fact that the guy doesn't play his chords right, or he tunes the top string down, or some bullshit. This is total shit. It's like Iron Maiden has a fucking plane, Boeing 747, with Iron Maiden stenciled on the side, piloted by the co-pilot, like the, not co-pilot, the pilot is Bruce Dickinson, right? He's been fantasizing about planes since he was a kid. The lead singer of Metallica flies their Boeing 747. They had like PhD level scientists and engineers like retrofit this fucking thing. Like they had to hollow out all the innards, take out all the gear, and then that's how they put their musical bullshit in there for their fucking tours. They go on tour with this thing, and this guy's flying it. Now that's called the life, right? A job is not the life. If you have a job, hand out other resumes while you're still employed. Do informational interviews, like a few a month, one a week, a couple a month, and you got some back pocket offers, and that's your job security. So next time your boss gives you shit, you're smiling inside, because it's like you can just tell him to fuck off any day. I don't know why people don't do this. So this thing over here, when you work out, you get up in the morning, and like the CEO of Chipotle, he's like an Iron Man, apparently. I haven't read up on this guy. I just read this about him, that he gets up at 5 and he does circuits, like circuit laps and some fucking CrossFit training and Iron Man triathlete type of bullshit. And he runs a Fortune 500 company. So like Melissa Meyer said, like these guys, Elon Musk type guys, and Jeff Bezos and Gary Vee, the work is meant to energize you. Like if you're doing something and you feel drained afterwards, like these videos, like I just shot like just recorded a fucking episode for my new podcast, Gangster Talk FM, right? I'll put the fucking link in here if I remember. But I'm getting it now. I've been following Gary Vee since 2012, right? And I religiously watch his content. I religiously watch Tai Lopez's content. I religiously watch Alex Becker's content. I've zeroed in on these 3 guys as being the guys I need to follow. And of course, Alex Becker is best friends with Sam Ovens, consulting.com. I did that course. It's like $5,000 US, right? So you pay your fucking dues, and then you get to talk shit. Or you train and you can do some fucking kicks, then you get to talk shit. Or you've been in like many fights, then you get to talk shit, right? So this thing here, what I was thinking is, so when you exercise, you get up in the day, and my advice to you is as follows. I learned this in jail. I tell the guys, if you do any of the 4 or 5 following things: read every day, write every day, okay, read or write, and then pray/meditate, then there's art, right? Like I literally had the deputy for Toronto South Detention Center come round to my fucking cage, okay, at the South in Mimico here in Toronto. Like it's a supermax. It's like the world's best jail, more or less, because that's Toronto and that's Canada. Like it's more or less the world's best jail. Okay, that's what that is. Canada is tops in law enforcement, security. Anyway, so I get up in the morning and I tell these guys, like, it's worth going to jail for if you start reading or writing or exercising or praying or meditating or some art. And I try to do all of these things every fucking day. That's when it's serious. If you're into something, a side hustle, a hobby, a passion, a girl, a business, a car, or something, you need to certainly write it down and rewrite this thing every day until it's out your system and it's internalized. And then every day you need to take steps towards it. It's like Larry Winters in fucking Amway. He asked Pam, Britt, Bill and Peggy. He asked Peggy Britt, and Bill Britt is like the biggest kingpin in North America in Amway, like the most famous or the most respected. And he's got like Lear jets and fucking like at last count, this was like 10 years ago, he had like a hangar or hangars of like 56 luxury cars. And the rationale behind it, just so you know, is like the diamonds will tell you the following. Would you rather have a broke mentor? Would you rather have a fucking guy who's poor? And like me, I'm a broke, like not broke, I'm poor. I'm poor, not broke. Inna Allah al-ghani wa antumul fuqara. God is rich, you're poor. Rich people will say, yo, I'm poor. Yeah, the richer you are, the more poor you feel. The richer you are, the more worried you are about your money. The richer you are, the more sleep you lose after all the people coming after you is what they're going to say. Like, I'm not poor. I owe this guy. I owe that guy. That guy wants money. This guy wants money. And all this kind of bullshit. Anyway, so you work out every day. I get up and I have a 2 to 3 hour routine, right? And if I don't exercise, that's my day. It might even be my week. Like, literally, that's how keyed into this thing I am. Like, I want to write a poem to my wife. I want to pray. I want to meditate. I want to exercise. Okay, so that's when I say exercise, I do yoga with weights, and then I go jogging. And then if I have some time, like today's Saturday, not like it matters. Like, I work 7 days a week. Like, I do what I fucking want every day of the week, basically. Like, today I've got like another client. Like, so people mind me. If you mind me sending you these messages, I get clients this way, among other things. I gauge responses this way. Today, some guy out of the blue at a company I responded to, he's like an executive there, and he was interested in like a random note to my fucking lawyer or somebody, and I copy a whole bunch of people. I don't even know half these people. I don't give a fuck. I'm a marketer. I just send shit out there. If you're into sales and marketing, you need to get to a point where you really don't give a fuck how the person reacts on one level, and on the other level, you're very interested in their natural response. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. Like, I was a basket case last month. My landlord kicked me out. I got arrested. I'm getting into fights, all this shit. And then over the last week, I've been super religious about my exercising. When I say religious, this just means regular. Larry Winters asked Pam Britt, like, what the secret is. And then she said, you just do something for your business every day. That's all she said. And he wanted more. And he's like, yo, there must be something more. There has to be something more. She's like, no, that's all it is. And he's telling this crowd, and he's on the stage, he's like, fuck, these guys, like, their tax return is like over $100 million in, like, they pay in taxes. Okay, and Bill Britt's been free since the age of 41 in 1971 or some bullshit. Yo, you cannot argue with a guy who's got, like they say, the fruit on the tree. I went head to head with Bill Britt, and he shot my fucking face down. My wife and I, Judith, we were under Brian Herosian of Amway, who's like under Dave Taylor, if you know anything about Amway. This was years ago. I'm not an Amway guy, and I don't sell shit to people, more or less. Like, I want someone to buy shit from me, if you get the gist. Like, as Jeffrey Gitomer says, nobody, the Little Red Book of Sales is the book I refer you to, Jeffrey Gitomer. Nobody likes being sold to, everybody likes buying. It's a very interesting thing. We're all addicted to buying and identified with brands. So now, okay, so that's about it. So, like, you get up and you work out you have about, I would say 1 to 2 hours for the average person is your time when you get up. Because if you just bumble into your day and bumble through your fucking day, you're going to get eaten up by this fucking thing. You're going to get eaten up. You need a daily routine. You need, rather, a morning routine. Daily routine, who knows what the day has to offer? That's what I'm going to tell you. I refer you to the book Journey to Ixtlan by Carlos Castaneda. One of the chapters is losing personal history. Another chapter is losing routine, something like this, right? So I have a routine for when I get up. And by the way, I may sleep in the afternoon, I may sleep in the middle of the night. Like, my whole thing is, I'll just go until I can't take it anymore, then I'll just pass out. Like, I learned this from my wife. Like, basically, that's what she does every fucking day of her life. And she's been doing it all her life. Like, when she was 7, she climbs on some chair and starts cooking for her family. And they're like, yo, El Niño knows how to cook. And so she's been, like, cooking and cleaning and working her face off since she was 7. Anyway, this thing I was thinking, guys, of doing this, right? I've done most of my kicks, and the most impressive kick, of course, are the turnaround ones. So, like, as a like, so-called amateur filmmaker, what I'm interested in doing is placing the camera directly underneath this thing and then taking a couple of swings at this fucking thing, right? So that's easy. These are easy kicks, right? Right? So that shit's easy. Now this is gonna be like, this is Taekwondo. So in Taekwondo is Korean. You have up chuggy. Up chuggy is the forward kick. Yub chuggy is the side kick. Yub chuggy. Then Tora yub chuggy is what I wanted to show you. You turn around and then you kick like that. Yo, this is actually working out, eh? So Tora yub chuggy. Yub chuggy is side kick. And then Tora yub chuggy is you turn around. So I got to do my turn kick. So I do basically on a given day. It depends. Like, so I'll do like 4 kicks and then I'll do that for days. And then I'll say, no, I need to up this to 7 kicks or 5 kicks. 7's my wife's favorite number, this kind of thing. Anyway, guys, the point is you need to be persistent and consistent. You know what? I'm going to leave it at that. Like, people are watching now and there's kids over there and I don't want to like be like some show off. So anyway, let me know what you think. I got to take a piss. It's 20 minutes. It's a great time to stop this movie. Be nice to your mom. Okay? It's all about the kids. And then you may not believe in God, but do you believe in good? If you don't believe in good, do you believe in yourself?